in the midst of all the things, the real question is, and your power lies in, who do you serve and who will you become? Right? There's so much that you cannot control, that I cannot control. Who and where our choice point is choosing who we will serve, what we will be an instrument of inside of these times. The presence of death, the reminder that the life-death life cycle includes and must acknowledge death, is going to bring greater soul to all of us, because it has always been true. Death is always with us, right? When it comes close like this, in all the many ways of dying that are happening right now, when it comes close like this, life starts to shine really brightly and get really clear. And who you're serving inside of life, in the presence of death, becomes one of the most important questions for your peace, for your purpose, and for staying on your golden path, whatever circumstances are going to arise. So who do you serve? What are you willing to serve? Your choices and your actions, what you allow into your world, what you allow out of your mouth, out of your voice, what you lean your energy in behind, is defining who you serve. So it's a really powerful opportunity for all of us to get deeper in, take a moment, ask who we serve, and then how that service would be true. Right? So if we serve love, we serve peace. If we serve the God, goddess of our own understanding, right? If we serve the mystery that we have reverence and awe for, how does that then, how does that express itself right now in the face of all of what we're facing? So I think that is a question for you. That is a calling of all of us forward to the core here. Because especially those of us, all of us, who influence our realms, it really matters who we're serving. And we have this profound opportunity to serve love and wisdom and to learn what that means. This is mastery time. We're going to get really rapid feedback on whether or not we're serving love or we're serving excessive fear, on whether or not we're serving wisdom or we're just serving a bunch of empty knowledge and empty action. Right? We're going to get really quick feedback because the intensity level is high. That sucks on one level. On another level, it's extremely powerful. We want this kind of fuel because we want to initiate. We do not want to be where we were before. We want to be more. We want to move into what's calling us. And we do that through initiation. And the amount of fuel, the amount of power that's available right now is blessed. We want it, right? And where we can have the simplest, most powerful agency, and the most powerful way to harness that is to very clearly choose who and what we will serve and who and what we will not serve. Because what comes out of choosing and knowing who you serve is the reciprocity of that, right? You choose to serve love, you choose to serve whatever the divinity of your own understanding is, you are then entering a covenant of reciprocity, meaning you're not alone in that. What you serve is in service to you. Always. So it's for you to step forward in service, to be brave and courageous, to acknowledge the unknown, and to still say, I am going to, this is what I will be an instrument of. right? And to, in that, know that you have aligned with reciprocity from beyond yourself. Reciprocity of your deeper soul, of the one who's holding you, the one who made you, your destiny. There's reciprocity there. And when I talk about your golden path and the golden path that's going to get you through this, that doesn't mean it's going to be beautiful and easy. It just means that if you can remember that the most important thing is who you serve, and then you allow yourself to turn towards the reciprocity of that, you're going to be stepping into what I would call priestesshood, right? You're going to be stepping into the active movement of yourself as an instrument of the beauty of creation, more than you've ever known before, because that's what initiations bring. Because they're the life cycle. They're part of that cycle. The descent journey has the resurrection inside of it in the deep feminine tradition. So I welcome you. Take shelter here in something that you already know, that already feels natural to you, that already just is feels right in you, if that's true for you. That of course, life, death, life, right? We celebrate the intensity of this time, not because it's awesome, not because it's beautiful or fun, or because there won't be tremendous suffering, but because we are going to choose to initiate into the fullness of what we were created to be through this. And we're going to do it together. So who do you serve? And I know you know who that is. But this is the time to purify that relationship, to purify it and to turn toward it, to acknowledge, receive, and basically stake your claim in the reciprocity that is a part of the covenant of serving love, serving the goddess, serving your God, serving whatever it is that you want to call that you serve, that you can feel inside of you. There's a covenant there. And you can stake your claim in it. So who do you serve? That's one of the places to orient to, no matter what's happening. Expect circumstances to be disorienting, whether or not the change seems to be awesome or horrible, right? Whatever, wherever you are in the cycle. Expect circumstances to be difficult to orient to, because circumstances are always changing, and the truth on that level is a kaleidoscope. It doesn't ever settle. And at this point, with social media and all the other things, it's really clear. Truth with a capital T must live underneath of that somehow. Why? Because we need it. There's a sacred need for truth. So it must exist. It's just not where we're often looking. We have got to come in and down and get here and settle into real power, the kind of power that is indwelling. And we do that by asking again and again, whatever the circumstance is in front of you, who do you serve? All right, who do I serve? What will I serve here? What will I be an instrument of? Let that be the question that you ask. Not even necessarily, is this the truth? Is this the truth? Is this the right strategy? What, all of that, fine. Sometimes it'll seem clear and sometimes it won't. But the more important thing is, what do you serve? Who do you serve? Because your motivation in the things that you share, in what you add to this collective situation, is what matters, and what is actually going to either lead yourself and lead other people toward home or further from home, right? We want to serve the homecoming that's being invited during this time. Homecoming, deep homecoming. We want to serve it in ourselves, and we want to be beacons of that for others, so that they are not in this horrible, agonizing place of having left themselves to look for something that will never be there, and having lost the way back into just their own simple presence and all of the resource that's here. So who do you serve, and the reciprocity of that, the covenant there, right? That is something to orient toward no matter what is happening. This, who you serve, is the presence that says, I will be with you. Even when you die, I'll be with you. And if we want to take it all the way to the core place of all of this, we're all facing death. For a moment, for many moments, we're having to acknowledge yet again that this is what's true. We will die, and we will not know when, and we will not know how. And what we need is not all the grasping to understand and to protect ourselves and to fix it and to survive and all of this. That'll come from sober wisdom, all of that. The guardian presence is here for you. But what we need in the face of death more deeply is to know who's with us and who can never leave, right? And to feel that presence and to know that we've served that presence well. Because that's the presence that moves with us through the full cycle of life into death, into whatever life comes after that. So orienting to who we serve. And the other part of that, in acknowledging that, look, what we're on right now is a heroine's journey, right? When the initiation, when the odds are this, the odds are this huge, right? This kind of daunting. I think for many of us, and on a kind of global level, the odds just keep stacking up, right? It's the environmental catastrophes that we're looking at, or the environmental changes. And then it's the economics, and now it's a pandemic, and then it was all the things in your personal life. I mean, here's the thing. If you pay attention, and if you're feeling and aware, then you are aware that there's a galvanizing happening through all of this, that what a heroine's journey is, what's galvanizing us into the warrior presence that we need, and to the understanding of the heroine's journey that we're on, is that the how do I want to say that? The words aren't coming, but just that all of a sudden it's become almost like an impossible quest, right? We're on a quest. And there are certain ways in which it keeps pushing the volume so that it seems absolutely unwinnable. Here's the thing. If there's any part of us that thinks we can save this, then we're going to have to relinquish that in order to actually become an instrument here. Because saving this is, first of all, impossible. Second of all, it's not the point, right? It will or will not be saved, whatever that actually means, right? But all that we really have to orient to is that on this quest of life, through these difficulties, these seemingly sometimes insurmountable challenges, we are the hero or the heroine. And what the point is that we know where we want to go. We know what the quest is, right? What is the quest? The quest might be I don't know what it is for you. The quest could be that I can't speak to your quest. That's funny. It's a complete emptiness. I can speak to my quest. My quest, I will raise a temple, right? So I know that's what pulls me on. That's what I'm given. That's my destiny. I feel it, right? It requires me to be a warrior and a heroine, to continually step on that golden path and follow it. You all have your own. You know what your quest is, and it may or may not have something that specific. It might just be a feeling. It's important to acknowledge and honor that quest. That gives us the purpose, that gives us power, and it orients us. But the truth of the matter is, we may or may not ever make it. All we have in this moment is what we become on the way to that. So, here now, what are we becoming in the face of insurmountable obstacles, seemingly? Right? How are we being galvanized? That is you accruing power, accruing dark matter, accruing influence and soul force every moment on your heroine or hero's path, right? And so we can't hinge ourselves and our world on the thing that we see, the thing that we love, this beloved vision, this destiny, this like ultimate beauty that we serve. We must serve it. We must walk the path, but we have to stay here and ask over and over again, what am I becoming on my path? What am I allowing or disallowing this life to make me into? Right? And again, that's one of the other simple orientations we have during times of chaos or great change or great transformation, right? Just the honesty with ourselves and the rigor. There's some rigor associated with that. You know, heroine's journey isn't necessarily a soft one. She gets to have she gets to be supple in it, and there's paradise along the way. But there's a sword in there, right? And there's a pillar of fire in there. And you all have that. So when you need to orient to that, you ask, who will I serve? And who am I becoming?